There is this strange friction in how we work today. We have access to these incredibly powerful cognitive engines, but we basically just use them to write simple emails. It's honestly like buying a brand new Ferrari, and then you only drive it to the local bakery.
Yeah, that is exactly it. It is a massive waste of raw computing potential. You are basically idling a supercomputer for a tiny task. It's kind of wild when you really think about it.
Welcome to our deep dive for today. We are exploring a fundamental shift in modern knowledge work. We are looking deeply at Claude Cowork right now.
Right, and it is a completely different paradigm for interacting with AI. You're moving from a simple chat to an autonomous system. It completely changes how you manage your daily data.
Our mission here is actually quite simple. We want to transform your messy digital files, We are going to turn them into a fully automated system. It will literally update itself while you sleep.
That is the dream, right? Waking up to finished work.
Exactly. So here is our roadmap for this deep dive.
Yeah.
First, we will cover the shifts from basic chat to workflows. Then we will build interactive dashboards from your local data.
And then we bring in the live cloud data.
Right. After that, we will create reusable instructions called skills. Finally, we will automate the entire process from start to finish. Okay, let's unpack this.
I am really ready to dive into this architecture. To get out of that proverbial bakery, we need a shift. We must understand the fundamental difference in the software first.
The difference between Claude Chat and Claude Cowork.
Exactly. They operate in two entirely different philosophical spaces.
We treat basic chat like a standard search engine. You just ask a quick question, and it gives a response. You close the tab, you move on with your day.
Yeah, precisely. You ask it to write some marketing content, or you ask it to explain a complex scientific idea. It is a quick one-off interaction. There's absolutely no lasting memory there.
But Claude Cowork is built for much bigger operations. It handles end-to-end tasks using a whole folder of files. You do not just ask it a simple question. You are actually giving it a dedicated digital workspace.
Right. You give it a folder full of different files. You might include spreadsheets and text documents. You could throw in old PDFs too. Then you ask it to analyze that collective data.
And it finds insights across all those different formats. It does it simultaneously. The mechanical difference in that workflow is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Beat. A chat window eventually forgets the early context. Cowork anchors the AI to a specific permanent folder.
And it works on both the web and the desktop app. You can choose the setup that fits your workflow perfectly. The web version is really good for quick operational tests.
It is very easy to start without setting much up locally.
Yeah, but the desktop app is much better for heavy lifting. It works seamlessly when you regularly use local computer folders. Cowork accesses the local files you explicitly allow it to read.
So it indexes that local data into a usable context map.
Exactly. It builds a working memory of your specific business.
That brings us to the very first practical step. We are analyzing multiple file types to build an interactive dashboard. You can throw highly unstructured data directly at it.
Yeah, it handles all of them together in one environment. You simply explain your overarching goal to the system. You say, analyze this messy sales data and create a dashboard. Show me how the business is actually performing today.
I have to make a vulnerable admission right here.
Oh, what is that?
Well, I still wrestle with manually copying and pasting data myself. It is this weird human need to control the raw numbers, even when I know it is a wildly inefficient habit.
We all cling to those old analog habits sometimes. It feels safe, But Cowork is designed to bypass that manual drudgery entirely. It does not just make pretty charts from your pasted numbers.
Right, it reads the CSVs directly.
And it identifies unusual data points on its own. It highlights the specific areas that need a human's closer look.
Because the AI does not inherently understand the business context. It just sees a massive numerical drop in Q3. It does not know why that drop actually happened.
Exactly. And if the original data has structural problems, the dashboard fails. Bad original data creates a bad dashboard every single time.
A professional-looking chart can still show completely incorrect results.
Oh, absolutely. It happens constantly in corporate environments today. You must meticulously review the warnings generated by Claude Cowork. Human review of those specific warnings is absolutely essential.
You have to make sure the AI's information reflects reality.
You do. Otherwise, you are just automating bad math.
Wait, let's explore the mechanics of that initial setup. If I just dump my entire hard drive into Cowork, what actually happens under the hood? Does it just crash?
It does not crash, no. But it dilutes the AI's attention massively. The system gets completely overwhelmed by the irrelevant noise. A clean workspace is absolutely essential for accurate results.
It helps Claude Cowork focus only on the right data.
Right. It stops it from cross-referencing your sales data with, say, your grocery list.
Clean folders prevent mistakes, and human review catches the data errors.
That is a perfect summary of the local setup phase. You still desperately need the critical human element involved.
So we have got this pristine, functioning local dashboard now, but businesses are not static entities living on a hard drive.
No, they are moving constantly.
Right. The minute your sales team closes a new deal on Tuesday, your carefully crafted local dashboard is completely obsolete.
It really is. Rebuilding it every time new data arrives is tedious. If you are manually uploading files, you haven't solved the drudgery problem. You have just moved it.
We need the system to talk directly to the cloud.
We do this by adding the Google Drive connector.
This is where the architecture gets really powerful, I think. You open the connectors section and authenticate Google Drive. You are bridging the gap between local processing and live data.
What's fascinating here is how granular the permission controls actually are. You do not just hand over the keys to your entire cloud.
You must be very deliberate with your access grants.
Exactly. You only grant access to specific folders the workflow actually needs.
So limiting data access helps the AI focus its cognitive power.
It does. It stops the system from processing sensitive or unnecessary files. It keeps the workflow clean, highly efficient, and secure. Now we are combining local context with live cloud updates.
We can give Cowork much more detailed, dynamic instructions.
You instruct it to find the latest sales data online. It uses metadata to pull the newest files automatically.
Then it compares that fresh data with the existing dashboard.
It recalculates and updates all of your key business metrics. It dynamically refreshes the charts with the brand new numbers. It cross-references regional trends across those different data sets seamlessly.
But hold on, I need to push back on the security aspect.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I give it open access to my Google Drive, how does it know to ignore my HR payroll files? That seems like a massive security risk without strict guardrails.
Well, that is why those granular permissions are so crucial. You literally only check the boxes for the marketing folders. It physically cannot see the HR files. But there is another crucial best practice for these cloud updates.
Oh, what is that?
You must keep file names and data structures completely consistent.
Consistency is vital for the AI to find the data.
A clear naming system helps Claude parse the right information faster.
So what happens if a team member randomly renames the cloud files? Say they change the Q3 report to Bob's final edit.
It completely breaks the automated system immediately. The AI is looking for a very specific digital path. If the structure changes, the workflow simply cannot execute. It does not possess the intuition to guess what Bob meant.
So changing file names breaks the system. Consistency is the key.
You have to set a rigid naming convention and enforce it. The machine needs predictability to function at a high level.
We're going to take a very quick break right now. When we come back, we are turning these tasks into reusable skills. Mid-roll sponsor read. Welcome back to our deep dive on automation today. We are exploring how to scale your workflows with Claude Cowork.
We just successfully connected our live cloud data to our dashboard.
Having that cloud connection running is truly incredible, but there is still a massive bottleneck in this process.
Yeah, the prompting phase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Typing out that massive detailed prompt every single Monday morning, that is incredibly tedious and prone to human error.
It takes way too much time and mental energy. You might forget a crucial instruction from week to week. Nobody wants to start from a blank screen every Monday.
Enter the powerful concept of reusable skills. This changes how you interact with the AI system entirely. We need to define this technical term very clearly. A skill is a saved set of instructions for a repeating workflow.
That is a great way to put it. It turns a complex, repeated task into a reusable software process. You build the logical architecture once, and you use it forever.
Let's build a weekly sales review skill conceptually right now.
Okay, let's do it.
You tell Claude to create a new reusable weekly skill.
You instruct it to always pull the latest drive data first. Then it compares that data with the previous sales period carefully.
Next, it updates the existing dashboard and refreshes the visual charts. Finally, it generates a comprehensive written summary of business changes.
The granular summary details are what make this so valuable. You do not just want a generic overview of the numbers. You tell the skill exactly what to analyze every single time.
It should analyze overall revenue growth and specific customer segments. It needs to check the different sales channels and return rates.
It should highlight the biggest upcoming opportunities and potential risks. You can even instruct it to provide recommended executive actions.
Claude Cowork turns all these instructions into a structured, clickable skill. Next time, you just run the skill with one simple click. You never have to write that giant, complex prompt again.
But there is a crucial best practice before you fully automate it. You must test the new skill manually several times first.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because you are actually programming the AI's attention mechanism, you can tweak the instructions based on those initial test results.
Yeah. You meticulously review the outputs after each manual test run. You adjust the core instructions if Claude misses important contextual details.
For example, you might need it to pay much more attention. You can tell it to focus heavily on declining revenues specifically.
Or you can ask it to cross-reference those unusual return rates. You continuously refine the skill until the output is absolutely perfect.
But let me ask you about this testing friction. Why is this manual testing phase absolutely necessary? Can't we just trust the intelligence of the initial prompt?
Well, because even advanced AI models need strict operational guardrails. AI can suffer from what we call prompt drift. Testing manually ensures it focuses entirely on the right data points. It prevents the AI from automating bad or irrelevant analytical habits.
Test manually first, so the AI learns exactly what to focus on.
Right. A well-reviewed workflow creates a much more resilient, automated system. You have to verify the logic before you scale it.
So we have a tested, highly refined skill ready to go. Now, how do we make the machine run while we sleep?
This is the ultimate goal of the entire architectural setup. We turn the workflow into a fully autonomous background process. We put it on a rigid, recurring digital schedule.
Instead of opening Claude every week and clicking the skill button, you let Claude Cowork handle the execution process completely automatically. Beat. It runs seamlessly at a specific time that you choose.
You are scheduling complex, recurring tasks to run consistently without human input. You can set it to run every Monday morning at 6 a.m.
It pulls new data, updates the dashboard, and writes the reports. Your entire team has the summary waiting in their inbox.
Let's clarify the underlying architecture of this system. What is the exact technical relationship between a skill and a schedule?
A skill essentially tells Cowork how to execute the specific task. It contains the logical steps, data checks, and desired analytical output.
Exactly. But a schedule tells Cowork precisely when to execute it. The skill is the logic layer, and the schedule is the trigger.
Got it. Skills dictate the how, while schedules dictate the when.
When you combine both layers, you create a fully automated engine. 2-sec silence. Whoa, imagine stacking these Lego blocks of data to run hundreds of automated Monday morning reviews.
It is a massive technological force multiplier for literally any business. And the best part is the barrier to entry. You do not need to be a technical engineer to build this.
Not at all. If you collect business information regularly, you can build these pipelines. Let's look deeply at some specific use cases for different roles.
Business owners can track overall operational performance completely automatically. They find important metric changes without checking multiple complex reports manually.
Marketing teams can deeply analyze campaign results and customer survey feedback. They can point the system at a folder of campaign CSVs. Then they point it at a folder of PDF customer surveys.
And the AI cross-references those totally different data sources effortlessly. Sales teams can build those weekly sales pipelines we just discussed. They identify specific products or regions that need immediate strategic attention.
Financial analysts can combine unstructured data from multiple files much faster. They create dynamic dashboards and discover long-term market trends instantly.
Project managers can summarize dense project updates and organize team documents. They track important action items across massive, distributed remote teams.
This architecture works best when tasks have a clear, repeatable goal. You start small and gradually automate the more complex analytical workflows.
We've covered a massive amount of conceptual ground today. We started with a shift from a simple one-off answering machine. Now we are building continuous, self-updating workflow systems that run autonomously.
It is a localized intelligence system that literally grows with your business. You stop treating every weekly report as a separate manual chore.
So what does this all mean?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you are fundamentally buying back your cognitive time. You are letting the AI handle the repetitive data drudgery and formatting. This frees your human mind up to actually make strategic business decisions.
It is about moving your energy from pure execution to high-level strategy. I want to leave you with a final provocative thought today.
I always love exploring these philosophical implications.
Think about all these different departments running automated co-work schedules independently. Marketing, sales, and project management all have their own localized systems. They're basically operating in their own highly efficient digital silos.
They are processing data, but they remain functionally isolated.
What happens when we start instructing those different AI workflows to communicate? What happens when the marketing AI schedule and the sales AI schedule start cross-referencing each other's data autonomously?
That is absolutely the next frontier of business intelligence. Imagine the marketing AI sees a massive spike in ad spend, and the sales AI simultaneously sees a sharp drop in conversions.
If they talk directly, they realize the ad traffic is entirely bot-driven. They identify complex operational trends that no human analyst could ever spot.
It changes the entire landscape of how corporations process reality. You are building a swarm of specialized communicating digital analysts.
But before we get to autonomous AI swarms communicating in the background, we have to start with the foundational basics.
We do. You have to take that very first practical step today.
Here is your specific call to action for the week. Pick one small, messy, repetitive data task you absolutely hate doing.
We all have at least one of those draining Monday morning chores.
Organize those messy files into one perfectly clean folder today, connected to Claude Cowork, and build your very first interactive dashboard. Stop driving your cognitive Ferrari to the local digital bakery.
Put that massive computational engine to work for you right now.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Out hero music.